All right, folks, this video, shoulder press. I got a steroid shot in my shoulder, cortisone shot, whatever, the other day. It's been long enough that it's okay to get to working out. My doctor was like, didn't know if I'd have to wait the optimum, week or two, or he would say, hey, go for it. Really, this exercise doesn't bother the shoulder like my bench press. I've noticed a severe loss of strength in the bench press to the point where we're not even making videos anymore for that. It's become kind of humbling. And another thing, honestly, we've lost, I don't know if you guys can tell, we've dropped, depending on the day, 22 or time of day, 22 to 23 pounds, which is, I think, significant amount of weight. So we've lost some strength, which is kind of a bummer. But, it's definitely in my age healthier to be lighter than to be heavier. So we gotta find a happy medium. What that happy medium is, I don't know. I'm gonna continue to lose weight. At different times, we've made these videos. I've been as heavy as 282, and of course at 282 I was, at least in this exercise, stronger than I've ever been before. Bench press wise, the strongest I've ever been was weighing about 240, but that was between age 35 and 34 and 43, somewhere in there. So actually, let's go back in time. When I had my first significant injury, which was May of 2012, that was over 13 years ago. So we would have been late 30s, very late 30s. Man, it's been that long. And though I got most of that strength back, I never really felt the same. So I don't expect that I'll ever get there again, right? Like my age, maybe if I got on some TRT, I guess the reality is I could put 3.5 up to 3.5 kilograms of weight on. That wouldn't be such a bad thing. Or, 3.5 kilograms, or 7.7 pounds of muscle. So if we leaned up and we had 7 more pounds on us, that would be damn impressive. All right, so I, usually try to talk about what I've got for equipment in these videos. Sitting on a Titan Fitness utility bench, and it's, meant for seated military press, dumbbells, barbells, arm curls, seated curls. And it has a slight angle to it, but this is definitely not incline bench press. Now, can you cheat a little bit on this bench if you're tall, like I am? Yeah, probably. Could probably get my shoulders back a little bit. But I don't really feel the exercise in my chest, right? So you can tell when you're inclined a little too much and significantly use more weight, like what is it, Mike O'Hearn. I saw him and some scrawny dude he was working out with, like pressing weight that I can press or could press before I lost all my weight, and I was just like, there's no way that's a freaking military press. But that said, O'Hearn obviously can do like 315, which just seems ridiculous. This guy's older than I am, but he's got so much enhancements going on. I forgot what fitness influencer was with. Alright, so I'm gonna take a little break before I do this. I'm gonna switch over and do some hammer curls in a separate video I'm making. Alright folks, so we moved to the 45 pounder. 45 pounders. I haven't put the collars on yet. Eventually I'll put some gloves on. Sometimes I've used wrist straps, I should say. Yep. All right, so just a little warm up. All right, so I'm doing another video where I'm working some hammer curls. I'll use lifting straps just to secure the weight to my weak grip. But not that I highly recommend using these for military press, but it does actually make the bar feel a little fatter, and maybe it's a little softer in the hands. I don't know, but all right. No. So that was 145. You know, I forgot I have these 1 1/4 pound weight plates. I'll use those on the next set. So we'll take the 5s off. We'll replace that with a 10 and a 2.5. And we'll do some weights we never done before. I've yet to weigh these collars. Look at Chance City. They're some of my lightest collars, I believe. Definitely, well, they're probably more than 4 ounces a piece, but they are actually, I take that back. If they're more than 4 ounces, they're not my lightest collars, but they are pretty decent. Definitely, out of the collars I have, these are my favorites. Alright, so this will be 157.5 plus the weight of the collars, so probably 158. I'm going to go do some more hammer curls, and then we'll be back. Alright, so we got about 158 pounds on here. I'm going to put some gloves on. This would be my preferred way to do this. And as I go heavier, I'll switch to a different elbow sleeve to protect those elbows. Keep them warm, keep them compressed, and reduce my tendonitis flare-ups. Alright. Now, I don't feel like you get a lot of benefit going super wide on this exercise. It may be easier for you to bring the weight down lower In case you're like one of those people that are like, oh, I've got to touch my chest. You know, reality is, folks, you get this weight below your chin, maybe shooting for the Adam's apple for those of you that are men, or those of you that act like a man, or excuse me, act like a female but are a man. Those kind of things, trying to hit that spot. Yeah, on a female, I guess, if you don't have an Adam's apple, you know, try and get a few inches below your chin, but it's a bad idea to hit your chest. You do not need to stretch your shoulders out like that. You know, reality is some people are more flexible than others. I will say, if you're familiar with the formula for work equals force times distance, that you are definitely doing more work hitting the bar down to your chest, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's good for the shoulder. Okay. All right. So next set we'll do will be, what the hell is that? 168, 10 more pounds, and so you can see we're getting there, folks, with the workout. Now, before I would have already been at 185 repping out. You know what happens when you lose 23 pounds? You just don't have the same. All right, folks. So, got a little carried away in the other video. So, if you want some advice on hammer curls, how to improve your form, how to get the best out of it, check out the video I made on that. While I might not have the hugest biceps, you know, when you're natural, folks, you're limited by your genetics quite a bit, but there's a lot of stuff you can do to ensure you don't injure yourself, to improve your form, get the most out of the exercise, and that's what that video talks about. All right, so we have 168 on here. Now, I usually don't use my 3-ply elbow sleeves this light in the video, but since I've lost all that weight, part of that, folks, besides the fact I needed to lose 30 to 40 pounds, was I had a wisdom tooth removed, and I just have not been eating like I normally eat because of it, but I also have tried not to eat just because I needed to lose weight. So it was actually a perfect time for it. But what is the effect of that? I've definitely gotten weaker. Now I say weaker. We're not going to do any PRs today, but my PR for a single rep is 260 or 265. I can't remember exactly. It's in a video somewhere. 225, which would be 4 of these, right? 2 on each side. I did 6 reps. That's my PR for that. And 185, which we're probably not going to do in this video. Or maybe we will. Let's do 185. I don't know. We'll do 187.5. Let's just jump up. So 185, my PR was 14 reps. I've done that at least 2 times in videos. Guess what? 190 pounds. My personal best for that was 14 reps. I've never seen anybody at a gym come close to those numbers. So I've seen 8 to 10 reps at 185, but I have never seen 14 reps. Now, are there people who can do that? Of course. Am I tooting my own horn? Of course. But those days are in the past, folks. We may never see those kind of numbers again. And, you know, for me to get to those numbers again, what would I have to do? I have to get fat again. And I don't know if that's a good thing for me at this point. I'm finding, you know, being lighter, easier to get moving, get off the ground, get out of bed. Easier on the feet, right? So there's a lot of benefits to being lighter. There aren't that many benefits to being a big old fatty. You know, yeah, so I got some more strength. So what, you know? That matters in some places. And if I'm the strongest guy in a fight, but that person is able to outrun me, outmaneuver me, my stamina might poop out, and next thing you know, that strength is of no use. So, oh gosh, folks, we have made so many videos. I got one channel that's made over 3,000 videos. Another channel's made over 2,000. These channels are closing in on, you know, probably 500 or more. Does that pay off in the end? No. Having your best videos seems to be the way to go, but nobody watches the old stuff. But it's good for memories, I guess. All right, folks. So we have 188 on here. If anybody's still watching the video at this point, which, what is it, 20? That's only 17 minutes into it. Give me a shout out, or shout yourself out. So let's see how many we can do. I think that was 10. Last week we did 185 for 11. Oh, we definitely got weaker. That's life. That is life, folks. Alright, so I think the final set we'll do basically about 138. We're going to use our 1.25 pound plates with our 45s and these dumbbells. I'll take the 25s off. I'm just not feeling like going super heavy today. No sense injuring ourselves. As we've lost all this weight, realization needs to be there that we're losing strength. Now, hopefully this won't affect our mental health. You know, some people can. Me, I definitely don't like being weak. But since I've realized with guitar playing, I'm never going to get really good guitar playing, so why overdo it on the you know, buying guitars. I used to have 26 electric guitars at one time. A substantial investment. Some of them were today brand new. To replace them would probably be $5,000-$6,000. Yes, I had a Jackson USA custom shop, Kelly. That's about how much that would cost. Had some Gibsons. Had a lot of Jackson USA's. One time I had 5 of those. Now we're down to 2. Had a bunch of ESP made in Japans that are also worth quite a bit of money. Down to 2 of those. But we have just don't have the need Even though I keep buying more, so I probably have 10 guitars now. 4 really good ones. 4 look really good. Maybe not as good as their American counterparts or Japanese counterparts, but still. All right. So I did a little project in between sets for the wife. I think she'll be happy. At least I hope she is, because it's hard to make that woman happy, you know? It is not an easy tasker. Okay, maybe she'll make me lunch for doing such an awesome job. Let me put this desk on top of that desk just to clear up more space in here. I don't know. I got so many things in the way down here, folks. You know, I had this wonderful solar project, and have all these freaking batteries, nonsense. I just don't know why. Probably leaking all over the place, and I don't even realize it. This thing will weigh a ton. I don't know if I can pick this up more. Oh yeah, it rolls. It rolls on 2 wheels. Interesting. Oh yeah, it weighs way too much to pick up. So I found a new spot for it underneath the charging station. There's you could go. And eventually maybe I'll go back to a solar power project, but for now it is what it is. Alright, we got 1 set left. We will use our 3 plies just to get hopefully a crap ton of reps out of this. I have to find my gloves. Keep my hands nice and soft and pretty. This video is going to be about 25 minutes long. Unless I yap to you guys for a little bit. I wonder if this fits under here. Sorry. I'm like a squirrel. It's like I saw a squirrel. I get distracted easy. Alright, that doesn't work so good. Okay, let's knock this out. We got one more set of hammer curls, and we got to get on our honey-do list. So, normally when I'm fat, I can get 26, close to 26 reps, at least 135, 136, 137, somewhere in there. Get that same amount of reps. Should get over 20. Now, the problem is, I never know until after I do the video how many reps I get, because I crank them out pretty quick. But let's go for it. Go a little wider so the range of motion won't be as good, or the same distance, I should say. I probably could have got 24, but I didn't feel like picking it off the rack if I didn't. Alright, so that's gonna do that. I felt like a good set. I mean, it ain't 26, but hey, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, people? Whew. Alright. Thanks for checking out my video. Please like, please subscribe.